Okay, hi Hana. Welcome to
Hello.
our third session today. So for today's session, you will be doing balance assessment. So there are two assessments that you're gonna do later on. First, Stork test for your static balance and Excursion balance test for your dynamic balance. Okay, so the purpose of this assessment is to check if you have any problem with balance and finding the cause of the problem. Okay, before we continue, do you remember the call I made 2 days ago talking about your pre-consideration? Hi Hana, this is Akila, your trainer. So for your next session, which is about balance assessment, I'll be informing you again the same thing on what not to do and what to do on the day of assessment. So please do not do any of the following. No exercise on the day of assessment so that you can have enough rest. No alcohol, no caffeine, and no food within 3 hours of assessment. So another pre-test consideration for you is that to drink ample fluids over 24 hours before the period preceding the exercise test to ensure that you have a normal hydration before testing. Also, you must be in a sports attire so that you can perform the assessment in a comfortable position, and you are required to be in a covered shoe to ensure your safetiness. So as for medication, some medication may affect resting heart rate or exercise heart rate. So if you do consume one before the assessment, please inform me, and you should bring the medication list including the dosage and frequency to the assessment, and report to me when was the last dose was taken. As an alternative, you may wish to bring me your medication for the exercise for me to record it down. Also, you may wish to have someone accompany you to the assessment to drive you home afterwards. Okay, don't worry, I know this is a lot of information to digest, so I'll be sending you an emails and a message again for you to check again what are things that you need to do and not to do before the assessment. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. For stock test, we'll be using the phone as the stopwatch to conduct the assessment. These are the equipment needed for the start excursion balance test. So the measure tape will be measuring the distance. The masking tape will be the layer of the assessment. The phone will be the stopwatch, and the marker to mark the distance. Okay, so to add on some information, I'll be informing you about general indication to start the test. It is my duty to stop the test if I notice any of this on you. If you have any onset of angina, significant drop or systolic blood pressure, excessive rise in blood pressure, lightheadedness, failure of heart rate to increase with increased exercise intensity, changes in heart rhythm, if you request to stop, and physical or verbal manifestation of severe fatigue or failure of the testing equipment. Okay, so before we continue, here are the form for you to sign to indicate that you understand the risk of the assessment and you agree to continue with the assessment. Okay, so before we start the test, I'll be taking your blood pressure and your heart rate again. Okay. Make sure your arm is straight and don't speak when reading your blood pressure. Here are your blood pressure readings, and let's proceed with the test. Hi Hana, welcome to our first balance assessment session. So you'll be doing a stock test. Before we begin, I'll be asking some informed consent. So have you consumed any food, alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine for the past 3 hours? Okay, how are you feeling? So you feel comfortable to perform the assessment? Okay, so let's begin. So before we start the assessment, we'll be doing some dynamic stretches where we'll be doing arm circles, calf raises, walking lunges, and leg swing. Now that we're done with our warm-up, I'll be informing you about the test procedures. So this test is called stock test. You'll be required to place both of your hands on your hip and lift up one leg and put it on your knee. And the test will start once you lift up your heels. Okay, so you'll be given 1 minute to practice. Okay. And the time starts now. Okay, so just to inform you that the test will end once you lift off your hands using something to grab, and when your legs are off from your knees and when your heels touch the floor. Okay, so for 1 minute, try your best to lift up your heels, and that will be your assessment. Okay, so you'll be giving 3 tries to get the average score.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the time in your position. The time will start now. Okay, that will be your first attempt. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. This will be your last attempt. In position. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, that was 3 seconds. Okay, good job. So now we'll be switching legs on your left legs. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Okay. Position. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. So this is your last attempt. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Okay. Good job on the assessment. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
Okay, so now I'll be doing some calculation and I will get back to you. Okay, thank you. Now we'll be doing a Star Excursion balance test. So before we begin the assessment, I need you to lie down on the floor to measure your legs. So lie down in a sleeping position. Okay, now I'll be measuring you from your hip to your foot. Is it okay if I touch you? Okay. So your measurement of your right leg is 102 cm, your left leg is 101 cm. So now we can proceed with the test. And now we will be doing a Star Excursion balance test. I'll be demonstrate to you first on how to perform the test. So you'll be standing in the middle and place your hands on your hip also again, and try to reach out as far as you can without putting weights on your leg that you're trying to reach out. So for example, so while you doing the assessment, right, I will be beside you to mark down your how far you can reach. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so we'll start with right leg first. Okay. Good job on the test. Now I'll be measuring the distance. You can take a rest first. These are the result for Hana's assessment Star Excursion balance test. This is the balance result. So for your Stork test results, based on the both national norms for 16 to 19 years old and norms for female and females, your results are poor after calculating the average. So how to improve your balance? Here are some exercise prescription recommendation. For flexibility training, you can do standing hip flexor. For resistance training, for strength and endurance, you can do squats. For core training, you can do plank. And for balance functional training, you can do single leg stands. Okay, for Star Excursion balance test, your result indicate that you are above average for most of the reach direction, but for your lateral part, your results are below average. So to improve your balance, here are some exercise prescription recommendation. For flexibility training, you can perform a hip flexor stretch. For resistance training, for strength and endurance, you can do squats and side leg lifts. For core training, you can do planks also. And for balance functional training, you can do assisted pistol squats or single leg Romanian deadlift. Thank you.